Sun Devils on the road taking on the Iowa State Cyclones tomorrow in a game against battle of 5 and 3 teams, the rematch of the Big 12 championship game. And here to talk about it with us for his weekly visit, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, Kenny Dillingham, our guest via video. Kenny, good morning.
Kenny.
How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are y'all? Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you. I'm the only one on the show that didn't dress up.
I took off my wig out of respect.
Dan's got a wig, and we got a producer that's dressed up like a cowboy here, Kenny.
Listen, I'm in the company of one of the best college football coaches. I have too much respect for him to wear a stupid Halloween wig during this interview.
I don't have that respect, so I'll turn my mic on just so
Sure, anything you want, Kenny.
Yeah,
Anything you want, Kenny.
Yeah, I love it.
Anything for you, brother. There we go.
We'll call that wig Troy Polamalu Bedhead.
That's it. There you go.
How about that?
There you go.
Obviously, one of the big stories, Kenny, and you've been answering questions about it all week long, is the injury front. And you said when it rains, it pours on injuries. We know that's the reality, but how confident are you in your umbrella right now going to Ames, Iowa?
I mean, I'm confident. I mean, I got a lot of confidence in our team. You know, if I would have said this, 2 years ago, it's not good because your depth isn't as good, but the depth of this team has allowed us to get to a point where we're 5 and 3 and still playing for something in November. And that's what we're at is, 4 of the 6 guys who went to media day aren't playing. And we're still in a position to where we're playing meaningful football in November. And that's what fires me up. And I got a lot of confidence in our guys to go play their best football game.
All right, Vinny and I were marveling the other day during the lean years, the way you would concoct victories and game plans when you were obviously undermanned. We remembered the swinging gate and all that kind of stuff. How do you get to the finish line? How do you get to the winner's circle this weekend?
Got to run the ball, stop the run. That simple. I don't care who runs it. I don't care how you run it. I don't care how you stop it. I don't care if it's cover 0. You got to run the ball and you got to stop the run in order to win in college football consistently. So this game, you're playing a coach who, wants to run the football and stop the run. And that's what we want to do too. So we got to find ways to do those things.
Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, our guest, as he is every Friday here on Bickley and Marotta mornings. There was change this week too. Obviously, the medical leave of absence taken by Charlie Regal, your special teams coordinator, Jack Nudo, taken over. And you had said earlier in the week, Kenny, it was a little weird without Charlie out there. Was it weird for the players, and how have they responded to that change for a unit that's really been under the microscope for the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, definitely a little weird. I mean, everybody in this building loves Coach Regal. Obviously, nobody more than me. I mean, he was my high school head coach. He's the guy who got me into coaching. I wouldn't be here without him. His office is right next to mine. I've opened the door every day this week and kick my foot in so the auto light goes on, right? You know what I mean? So it clicks on. And, I usually grab a piece of bubble gum that's right outside of his door. So it's definitely not the most fun thing to happen, but I'm wishing him, to get better and feel better and hopefully, come back and join our program because he's irreplaceable. But the players have responded well to Jack. I had a leadership council meeting say, what do you guys think? And they said, no, we mess with Jack. We like Jack. So, I mean, it was one of those that they were perfectly fine with Jack taking over. And I got a lot of confidence in Jack.
Kenny, you've got this program on a different trajectory, and you're going places that hopefully no one has gone before with this program. How important, with that in mind, is it that your players do not lament all the injuries, that you guys don't get into an oh, woe is us mentality? Because nobody feels sorry for you.
No, nobody cares. That's the reality. Some news, Sam, he's not going to be making the trip this week. He's going to be out for the year. He has to have season-ending surgery on something that's been lingering, and it's just he's got to have surgery on it. So he's got to do some things leading up to his surgery next week. And but on that, our guys are competitors, our guys are fighters, and our guys are going to want to do whatever they can do to win the football game. And I think that's the culture that you build. We've gotten behind in a lot of games. Why? I wish I knew. But our guys have battled back in those games, and we've taken the lead in most of them. And so I hope we start fast and, we play with passion, because I think passion is the number one thing that equates to wins. And if we have that passion, we continue to have that passion, then I think the culture is going to be in the right direction.
Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, our guest. Breaking some news here on the show as well. Obviously, you're not going into uncharted territory at the quarterback position. Jeff Sims, He's got a little bit of experience in these situations, stepping in for Sam, and came in last week in a weird situation with the game on the line. Did some good things, but also getting Malik McClain untracked in the passing game. Malik had a really nice game, and there had been some difficulty in getting him the ball. What does that do to I know you had done that in preseason camp and been a real factor in camp, but what does that do for his confidence to be able to do that in a game?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, that's a guy who's been like, man, he's got it all. When is it going to click? Like, when is it just going to happen for him? And it happened last week for him. And, him and Jeff are good buddies. They hang out together off the field. So hopefully that continues to build the rest of the season, starting this week, is that connection. Usually the connection off the field transitions on the field. So hopefully that continues. Malik's put in the work. He's really bought into what we're doing. And so I'm excited to see what he can do here, the rest of the way.
Kenny, forgive me for the speculative nature of this question, but I feel like I have to ask it. If Sam is going to miss the rest of the year, and if that means he might come back to college football, are you reasonably confident that he will stay at ASU?
I'm not even like that. I wish I could answer that question. I'm not even beginning to process what are his next steps. I haven't even asked him that. I just feel bad for him that, this season, he's been dinged up all year and he's been battling for our football team. And it's unfortunate that it just hasn't gotten any better. And, I'm more in the, man, I feel bad for you. What can I do for you right now as you go into surgery before looking into, is he going to go pro or those next steps for him, because he 100% is a professional quarterback. So for me, I'm more worried about him right now. I'll have probably those conversations maybe over the bye or in 2 to 3 weeks. But right now, I'm focused on just him getting better.
The origin of that injury that's going to keep Sam out, does that go back all the way to the Baylor game? I've heard people say. Is that how long he's been dealing with this stuff?
Yeah, it's early in the Baylor game, so it's been something that's been lingering. Like I said, he's been battling and fighting. He's the ultimate competitor. So I mean, that's the last thing. I mean, this is like the worst, obviously, news that he wanted to hear, because it means he can't play football. Yeah. And he loves the game of football. He loves his place. And so that it's definitely unfortunate for him. But, I know he'd wish he wanted to be here this week to support, but we got to do some things with him before his surgery to make sure he's as strong as possible for when he gets his surgery for the post-op and stuff like that. So he won't be traveling. I just didn't want people in today's day and age, if he doesn't get on the plane to travel, people are going to go down a billion different rabbit holes because everybody's so negative nowadays that I wanted to make sure that nobody, saw it in that light. This is him who's been battling for our football team. Like, he's got to get surgery. We got to do and get him in the best position to have the best surgery possible. And that's why he's not going to be there, because he's got to do some things before that surgery. Because
you always stress the positive and because you always kind of focus on pathways to victory, can you rally your guys around the fact that, hey, look, if we go out there and win without these guys, we can really show what this program is made of, what this program is becoming? Can you frame this as an opportunity, I guess, is what I'm asking?
I mean, anybody who doesn't take the field and go as hard as you can every single play, the entire game, I don't want a part of our team. I don't care if it's, problems or no problems or everything's perfect or everything sucks or it's kind of in the middle. It doesn't matter. Like, if you don't love the game enough to play as hard as you can for 60 minutes, that's it. If you don't love it, right, then, you don't fit us anyways. And I think that's the more of the messaging. It's nobody cares your circumstance. Everybody wants to see you fail. So if you're worried about everybody else, you're worried about the wrong things. Let's focus on being the best version of us and playing this game with so much passion that people can feel it.
Kenny, as always, we appreciate the time. We appreciate the candor. Best of luck in Iowa State, and we'll talk to you next week.
Good luck, Kenny.
I appreciate it. Happy Halloween.
Thanks, Kenny.
Don't scare too many kids tonight.
You can say that every night. Kenny Dillingham.
Yes, we did.
Kenny Dillingham joining us via video ahead of the Iowa State game. And in case you're just tuning in, also breaking the news that, and bad news too for ASU football, Sam Leavitt, the quarterback, out for the remainder of the season, will need surgery.
Is there ever any news that's broken that's good news? Ever anymore in this town?
That's a good question. It's a weighty question. I would lean towards no, Jared.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.